Former undisputed lightweight boxing champion Teofimo Lopez Jr. has been receiving a lot of criticism after his loss against George Kambosos Jr. on November 27. Teofimo Lopez Jr. lost this fight via split decision, but a lot of former fighters and media outlets had already scored in the favor of George Kambosos. Of course, they were not official, but still it shows that it was not a bad decision, because after the fight Teofimo Lopez Jr.'s father and his trainer Lopez Sr. said that they should have stayed with top rank. They should not have come and fought at the Jan and Matchroom card. They were robbed. But nobody has criticized him for not fighting in the fight. He fought his ass off, but it did not look like he stuck to his own game plan. He was dropped in the first round by Kambosos and he dropped him back in the 10th round. But George Kambosos held his composure and he came back and won the 11th and possibly 12th. Devin Haney reacted to his loss and he said, "I was telling everybody that Teofimo is a fraud, because a lot of people still think that he won the fight against Vasily Lomachenko when he was injured." So I'm not trying to defend Teofimo, but let me say something. First, a fighter is never any injury free. In every fight he comes with some kind of small or niggle, but they know that they can manage that. It might be that Vasily Lomachenko was carrying some injury, but he must be sure that he can manage that. It won't affect him in him winning that fight. Otherwise, he would not have fought. Would he have revealed he was injured coming into Teofimo Lopez fight if Teofimo has not won that fight? But was he overlooking George Kambosos? Might be. But he has always been very spoken. But one thing is sure. Most of the fighter, if they fight or once their fight is announced, if you ask them what does they think that they want in the future, what are their future plans, who do they want to fight next, you will always receive the answers like, "I'm focused on this fight," or "I'm not looking beyond the date of that fight." If you ask me next day after the fight, then I'll tell you what I want next. But even week before the fight, Teofimo and his father were discussing about what is next for them. Devin Haney fight and possibly fighting Josh Taylor at light welterweight. Even Matchroom promoter Eddie Hunt promised them that if he wins that fight would be next against Devin Haney. But there is another thing, like coming into this fight and during the fight week as well. Teofimo Lopez father Lopez Sr. he created a lot of dramas fighting with George Kambosos Jr. team during the media workout and the first round predictions. Even after the loss, he was sure he had won that fight. It was not his job. His job was to keep his fighter calm. It's great that he is his father. His son was the undisputed champion, so he must be proud of his achievements. It was his job to remind him that's not the end, since they have the plans to take over. It was his job to tell Teofimo to keep his calm and don't rush anything. Fight intelligently, like he fought with a focus against Vasily Lomachenko. And often, a trainer or a coach is the most trusted voice in the fighter corner. That's why fighters have trainers, like somebody who can hold them accountable, at the same time look after everything, strategies, preparation, to help fighters keep maintain his cool and calm, to help maintain their focus so that they can be prepared for next. Even the fights between very respectable fighters who don't like to get hype up during the fight week, you can feel the intensity during the face off, and those are the moments that coaches or trainers to let them remind their fighter why they are there. Fight is not over yet. But this loss is not the end of the world for him. The most important question for Teofimo Lopez Jr. is right now to ask himself, is his father the right man for him in his corner? Can he be honest with him? Can he keep him honest? Definitely a fighter needs support of their family and close people. Somebody who can keep him honest about the situation. To make him understand that to not underestimate any fighter. He was going in against a fighter who has sparred hundreds of rounds against one of the quickest guy in the sports and arguably one of the greatest fighter of all time, Manny Pacquiao. In some of which it showed in the fight that Teofimo Lopez speed was not a problem for George Cambosa Jr. to handle. He's still a great fighter. He still beat the man, which everybody think that was the man. He's still only 24, so it would be interesting to see what does he takes away from this fight when he comes into his next fight, whenever he comes back. But he has to ask that question that can he trust his father as a trainer to not get in his way, or most importantly, to make sure that Lopez Jr. does not get in his own way. So thanks for watching this video and please subscribe my channel. I'll keep updating.